Hello there. I have the last of the Treehouse data sets here, and there's no 8, so I'm just drinking 7 today. This is NEIPA yeast, or New England IPA yeast. The other ones that were very much New England IPA yeast, like they call their house yeast, obviously, and then English ale yeast, and that's what most brewers have been using for New England IPAs, are English yeasts. So I'm wondering if this one. This says a familiar NEIPA yeast. So maybe it's supposed to be the Alchemist one, which is often called Conan yeast. It could also be one that was developed by a yeast lab in America. But this is familiar, so I'm not quite sure. But this one is packaged almost a month ago. And just like all the other ones, 8%. So the first one was really good, their house yeast, obviously. And then number 3, number 5 were really good. Number 5 is actually the highest rated one. That's using another English ale yeast. And I like that one a lot. My review's up. This one is pretty highly rated. But we'll see. Familiar NEIP yeast to produce a classic hazy profile. Throughout the fermentation process, this beer produced an uncanny peach notes, reminiscent of some of our favorite batches of the Haze lineup. Interesting. Summer cobblers, ripe yellow farmstead peaches. Yeah, one sip of this beer, it's easy to see why New England's beloved hazy IPA swept across the country. Yeah, I have a feeling this is probably Alchemist yeast, but Alchemist brews in a very different way. They have a big yeast profile, but they tend to make their beers less hazy and more bitter. So let's see with this one. I mean, this looks really good. Ooh, yeah, getting a big aroma. That smells pretty nice. Very hazy. Head, pretty good. Bubbles aren't popping too fast. Yeah, it's big peach orange. Peach orange juice. Yeah, that smells really good. I'm surprised at how good all these have been, except for like the thiolized and thiolized yeast were a little weird, and the Nordic strain one wasn't really good. But that smells really good. It tells you that Treehouse's style works well with the English ale yeast and this yeast. I think it's because they're really close to their own house yeast. Their house yeast is probably is like a blend that they've been developing over the years and repitching. I think originally it was probably English, maybe American, maybe some German or something. But that's nice. There's just a little bit of a earthy spice thing. Otherwise, big peach orange juice. It also seems like it's one of the more bitter ones. Yeah, it just gives me that perception of bitterness. All of them, I think, are basically the same bitterness, the same amount of hops and all that stuff. And that also makes you think of maybe it's Alchemist yeast a little bit. I like this one a lot. It's really got real big, really fresh, ripe, juicy fruit notes. Just a little bit of earthiness. And a hint, a little bit more pine than the other ones, maybe. Just a little bit of a pine cannabis. Once you can get your nose in there. In the flavor, it's got a little bit of a leafy thing. It's not as soft as some of the other ones. Number 5 was really good. They brewed a Curiosity double IPA with number 5. I should have bought that when I went a couple days ago, but there's just too much stuff at Treehouse. You can't buy half of it without spending $500 or something. Yeah, this tastes like a really good double IPA from many other hazy IPA brewers. I would say, especially in New England, especially at Vermont. I think that they're implying this is like a um, Vermont yeast or something. Because this has just a little bit of a lighter body. It's not as soft as Treehouse. It's still soft. It's not as. It's just not as pillowy, um, and it has a little bit of a drier finish. Um, and the esters are just a little bit less strong. There's not much candy stuff going on. They say apricot, ripe yellow peaches, and white peaches, and orange. Pour is a beautiful glowing orange. They don't say orange, but they mention mostly peach. It's mostly stone fruits, which it is big on the stone fruit. But it really seems to me just a mixture of peach orange. V8 splash. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it does. It remind me of Swish from Bissell a little bit, maybe. I doubt they're using a Bissell yeast strain, but a lot of New England IPAs use pretty similar ones. I feel like in New England, the hazy IPAs are quite different from ones they make across the country. A lot of the ones across the country are way bigger on the esters, way more candy-like, way sweeter, more syrupy. This one it reminds me of what most of them are. I guess Treehouse is known for being a little bit bigger bodied and more esters, but they're just so unique. Um, there's no other brewery that I've had that has really captured that their quality. I might be like, oh, this is similar to that, and then I have a Treehouse, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is way different still though. But with this beer, I'd give it like a 4.25. Its rating on Untappd, I think, is 4.24, which is fair. But it's the newest one, so the rating might go down a little bit. Yeah, it works really well. So Treehouse can make slightly different variations of their IPAs with different yeasts and do a good job. I guess it's just surprising that number 5 seems like it's a little bit better than their number 1, which is their house blend. But that's it. This video's gone on too long already. Bye.